Vigilant Sports is brought to you by Fanalyze. Fanalyze is the fastest way to analyze player and team sports data. Make sure to visit Fanalyze.com or your favorite app store to download it.
Dallas can cover that by themselves. Oh, my Lord. Ride the under. Ride the under. Yep, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Please.
Probably the only place, but you did hear it here first.
Wow. All right.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
This is Vigilant Sports with Art Vigil and friends.
Rick, where'd you get a hand grenade?
Show me the money!
All I see is money, 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 money. All I see is money, 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 money. All I see is money, 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 money. Yeah. All I see is money, money, money. You got it.
Hey, welcome back to Vigilant Sports, hosted by me, Art Vigil. Enjoy the new episode. Thank you for listening. Let's go. Alrighty, welcome back to the round table. I want to thank everybody for being here. Josh, how you guys doing? Or how you doing?
No, I've been better. Been worse.
Edie, how you feeling?
I'm not walking on sunshine, but I'm walking.
Edie got his second shot today. He's curled up in a ball with a blanket over his body, but he's here. He's sticking it out. Mr. Cowboy Lover, Tuck, how you doing?
You know what? I am on cloud 9 right now. The Cowboys are in the top 5 of the Vigilant Sports power rankings and climbing daily. Wow.
I'm going to go with weekly, but okay.
Because daily, that's...
I don't think they play...
Well, it depends on
it depends on the injury report.
It's not basketball or baseball.
It depends on the injury report.
Mr. Larkin, did you read the book?
Have you ordered it yet? Has there ever been violence on the podcast before? We should
Not on this one yet.
Not on this one? Okay, well, it's early still.
Keyword is yet.
No, I'm fine. I'm ready for the greatest upset in the history of upsets when New England beats Tampa Bay. No, I'm kidding. I couldn't even get that out with a straight face.
Yeah, that was good.
The fact that it's only 7 points and you didn't take that as one of your locks.
One of my picks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I mean, that's easy money. But then again, we're telling people at home not to bet with us. So
that is true.
Yeah,
that's good.
We don't want you to win easy money.
No,
we want you to
really work for it. I want you sweating in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay, New England, you could be asleep halfway through the second quarter if you just take Tampa Bay by 7.
Do your research. New topic. We're going with the biggest disappointment
so
far in the NFL Week 3. Who's first?
Can I? It makes me so happy to say it.
Go for it.
It makes me so happy to say this. The Seattle sucky Seahawks, the most overrated quarterback in football, the most overrated coach in football, the most overrated crowd in football. That's right, Seattle fans. I'm talking to you. The 12? No, it ain't a 12 anymore. It's more like a 5.5 or a 3. I hate you guys. That's my biggest disappointment. Actually, it's not for me. It's not a disappointment. It's a celebration.
Yeah, it's more like what you were hoping.
It's a celebration. You know, it's more of a celebration of death of the Seattle Seahawks, and nothing makes me happier. Next,
Tuck.
Well,
Definitely Seattle is the top of my list as one of the biggest disappointments. I've also got Kansas City right behind them. Until Kansas City shores up that defense, I think they're in trouble. But one team I want to point out, all I heard about all offseason long was Carson Wentz. Well, you know what? Carson Wentz has been there. He showed up every week. And what's Indy's record? 0-3. Soon to be 0-4.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's go Dolphins.
Right. Yeah, go Dolphins. I think Indy's going to be staring down an 0-5 record here soon.
So if they beat Miami, what do you think?
1-4.
Well, yeah. they'll be 1-4, and the Indianapolis Brass will be looking at buying out Carson Wentz's contract soon. You heard it here first.
All right. CFL for Carson Wentz.
The biggest disappointment for me is every rookie quarterback that's starting for their team, which, I mean, you can't hold against them a ton because they're on just god-awful teams. I mean, you put 3 rookies on 3 of the worst teams in the league. But, yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. Just it's disappointing to see 3 great college quarterbacks be 3 just... I mean, not terrible. Trevor Lawrence isn't terrible, but they look bad. They look awful. Every single one of them.
So let me ask you a question. Does it make you a proponent of getting that rookie quarterback and having him sit behind an established quarterback?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a Mahomes or
like
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, I mean,
so you're a fan of... Yeah, he's a stud in college, but he needs to sit for a couple years to learn the speed, learn the game plan.
I think it's good to sit him for a year or two. I mean, some teams obviously don't have that
Trombone
option.
agrees with you.
Some teams don't always have that option, but I don't think we've seen... There's, Lamar Jacksons and stuff like that, but I mean, it's like you don't... I mean...
They're not good quarterbacks, they're great athletes.
Yeah.
You can turn them into quarterbacks.
You can't... No system quarterback like a Zach Wilson is coming into the league and seeing success immediately. It just doesn't happen.
Reading mics and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, realistically, I'm with you guys on all your picks. I do think that every team or player we talked about will turn it around besides the Colts. I think Kansas City will be fine. I think Seattle will be fine. They're rookie quarterbacks, whatever. My biggest disappointment is probably the Washington football team's defense.
Oh, good one.
Because they were supposed to be top 3.
Yeah.
All offseason, all we heard was, that D-line, so scary. Oh, they're going to get to the quarterback. No one's going to have time to throw.
Oh, yeah.
Even the secondary's good. Whatever.
I had him on my fantasy team. I dropped him.
I
haven't been very good, yeah.
I bet damn near every owner of the Washington football team dropped him on fantasy.
Yep.
You allowed 29 points to the Giants.
And I don't see them getting any better.
I mean, yeah. You allowed 29 points to the Giants.
Well, they're playing the Falcons this week, so they might get better.
Well, that'd be the one anomaly.
Right.
I'm going to pick up Washington again.
I picked Atlanta to win. I think the Washington football team's defense is wildly overrated.
Yeah.
And they, based on media craze, they're my biggest disappointment.
Nice.
I like that one.
Very nice.
Some
Very
good.
nice.
All right.
All right.
No pressure. You got to beat those two because the quarterbacks and Washington defense. That's a good one.
Yeah. My biggest disappointment this year so far this year, is the Miami Dolphins offensive line.
Oh. Okay.
Or the Dolphins in general.
Okay, yeah.
In
Because
general.
as the O-line goes, everything else goes. Yeah.
Exactly. So the O-line is what's holding the Dolphins back. The defense is solid, great secondary, good defensive line, solid linebackers. Our wide receiver core, they've been healthy, although
Fuller has actually made it to week 4.
No,
he's
he didn't practice.
Well, sat out the first 2. Oh, is he already hurt?
Yeah, he didn't practice.
Well, he didn't practice today.
Okay.
He's like an archaeological site. If you touch him, he breaks.
Exactly. But our offensive line is what's holding this team back. Even although Tua's hurt, Jacoby played decent in the second half. Although that pass to Waddle in the end zone was probably the dumbest play in NFL history.
That's right there with the Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, that's right.
See, but you can justify throwing a slant. You can't justify throwing it in the back of your end zone 4 yards.
No, not at all.
Unless he meant it.
No,
it was a design play.
Remember when the Pats, when they kicked it through the end, the uprights to get the safety on purpose? I think it was
Oh, you think they were trying to get a safety?
We were up 14-0, so I can't imagine they wanted to give the team the safety and a play.
I like how you're trying
to stretch. I'm trying to help you out, man. Like the coach said, you know what? I don't want to pick 6. I'd rather have a safety.
That way you have an opportunity for 8
But you only lose. I don't know, man. I'm trying to help a brother out.
Yeah.
There's no way to justify it.
Although the defense did, after we punted back to them, just hold them to a field goal.
So
we were up 14-5.
You only gave up 5 points as opposed to a pick 6 would have been 7.
Right.
Run the ball.
Your coach saved you 2 points.
Run the ball.
They can't. Hence my biggest disappointment: the offensive line.
You got to lean forward a yard. Have Jacoby lean forward a yard.
He is a big man. 300 pounds.
There's so many better players.
Actually, you know what? He should be our right or left tackle.
He should be your tackle.
Maybe a guard.
Joseph.
You could bring Cam Newton in to play left tackle.
Left tackle, yeah. Then Tebow for a tight end.
Yeah, blocking tight end. He's pretty good.
It is in Florida, so maybe, yeah. All right, so my biggest one is Miami Dolphins offensive line. Next up is biggest upset of the week. Who's going first?
Not me.
I'm just going to throw a team out there. I know it's 2 3-0 teams playing, but it's in LA. I look for Arizona to come out on top.
Wow.
Wow.
So this will be the second time that the number 2 in my power rankings
We'll jump to
becomes
number 1.
Yep.
You.
Wow. That's big.
Although we'll see how Dallas plays this week because they could vault all the way to number 1.
All right, what constitutes as an upset?
Being an underdog.
All right, so if I say Philly's going to beat Kansas City,
That's a big.
That's a huge, yeah,
is that an upset?
that is an upset.
Absolutely.
I would like to place a bet on that.
Are you going with Philly this week?
I'm going to go with Philly.
I like it. Yeah.
So the Eagles-
lay it out there.
The Eagles are going to beat
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
It's a 7-point spread in Kansas City, which means it's only a 4-point spread.
I don't think we're talking spread. We're talking about who's
I understand
gonna win.
that.
Okay.
So
We said
Vegas,
beats.
I mean, Vegas is usually built on winners, not on losers, usually, right? So if it's only a 7-point
Well,
spread,
that's how they built
that
the
means
towers,
Vegas
yeah.
isn't very confident in Kansas City.
No, they're not.
And, I mean, I could have said New England beating Tampa Bay because that's the same spread. It's only 7 points, but that's just
But you know
asinine.
that's just not gonna
That's just asinine. That's just silly. But, yeah, if you want to talk upsets, I don't think you can do much better than Philly beating Kansas City.
No, I agree with that. That would be amazing. That'd be
It's like
shocking.
David beating Goliath. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Although again,
It did happen.
Yeah, if Goliath was ranked number 12 in your power ranking.
And David was ranked, what? We would rank
was
Philly in your
22.
power rankings. 26?
David's a top 20 guy.
no, he's
David's a top 20?
top 20
You think Philly's a top 20?
Think about who he had with him, you know?
Philly, they're both 1 and 2. They're both 1 and 2.
He had a couple of rocks and a freaking slingshot.
Hey,
That's, that's more than some other guys have, you know?
Which kind of baffles me. Like, I didn't know they had rubber back then. Like, how did he have a slingshot back then?
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Okay,
Well, they
not
probably
that.
made it out of
Out of elk horns or something like that. And intestines.
trees.
You ever
or
read
like,
the great story of the elk and what was that? What verse was that?
slingshot?
Yeah. That's Corinthians 19:30.
There's no 19. It's yeah.
Was there not
whatever.
19? I guess it only goes to
12.
12, yeah. It's been a long time since I've read the Bible.
Yep.
Ain't gonna lie.
That'll get us some feedback.
All right,
I don't know if it's an upset at all, but I definitely like the Vikings over the Browns. I think it is technically an upset, but it's not like a, you know.
Vikings are
It's
-1. Or they're up.
yeah, we'll talk the home game. I mean, like, but amongst all power rankings here and elsewhere, the Browns are far well
absolutely.
above the Browns.
I actually can
But
see
Minnesota's on
that.
before.
I can see that happening because the two coaches, he used to work for as offensive coordinator. So obviously he knows their plays. The only difference is I think the Browns have a better defense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd say I look at all the other games and I don't see anything like shocking that could happen. I mean, there's not. I mean, the Jets beat the Titans. That's the most far-fetched thing ever. There's just a lot of games that I think are pretty black and white this week. I think the Vikings I think there's a lot of games that are black and white amongst upsets. You know, you have a lot of either very close, you can't pick an upset because no one's that favored, but I don't know. Vikings beat the Browns. That's my take.
Once again, not really sure if this is considered an upset because they're playing in Chicago. They're favored by 3, which is basically 0. But the Lions are going to beat the Bears. No, they don't. The Bears don't know who's playing quarterback. They don't want to make a decision. They're scared to put.
They should do a fan vote. They should do a fan vote.
I think Matt Nagy should go in and play quarterback under his system so he sees how these guys feel.
And then bite some kneecaps off.
They should do a survey monkey poll
Yeah.
and throw it out on the web and see what.
And see what
I
everyone
mean,
says.
Nagy obviously doesn't know what he's doing at this point.
Can't be any worse than what
If
they're
he
doing.
makes it to week 6, I'll be shocked.
Here's the thing. You got rid of Mitch Trubisky for Andy Dalton. You replaced the Joker with the Joker. They're the same quarterback.
No, that means
It's a
no. The
worse
reason
Joker.
why they
It's
got
a
rid of
worse Joker.
No,
It's
no,
a less
no.
powerful Joker.
They got rid of Mitch because they had to pay him. They didn't want to
They
pay
didn't
him.
have to pay him.
Well, I think the problem in Chicago was obviously Matt Nagy. I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah.
There's the quarterback doesn't matter. I think Matt Nagy's
Mitch looked
a
really good
massive
against
issue.
the Bears.
Mitch Trubisky's made the playoffs twice with Matt Nagy.
But no one here is saying that Tampa Bay is going to lose to New England, right?
No.
Okay. Golly, that's going to
So the Lions are going to beat the Bears. The Bears don't know who their quarterback is, and realistically, the Lions have played some tough games.
They
close.
are I think they're the
some
toughest.
close,
They're the best bad team in football.
They're the best
yeah.
0-3 team.
They're
I
playing
agree.
hard.
They're playing hard.
They're
They should have beat the Ravens.
Start to finish.
They have played.
They got
some
close
top-
with the Niners.
Yep.
I mean,
they played some
you
tough
got-
competition and just missed.
Yep.
Considering, I think before the season started, we all thought they were going to be
A joke.
an absolute.
Yeah.
They still might be
They
with
look-
injuries
they
and
look-
stuff
they
like that. But
look
so
bad.
far, they're
They're playing hard for
They're
sure.
playing hard for
their
Dan
coach.
Campbell.
Yeah. So Lions beating the Bears. You heard it here first. Except
Actually, I
probably
think I
not.
texted that to you.
Probably heard a
the
lot
other
of
night that
faces already.
Detroit was going to win.
You ran into me on the street anytime this week. You heard it from here. You heard it from me.
Alrighty.
All right.
Since nobody called this, I'm going with the Patriots beating Tampa
Oh my
Bay.
sweet loving lord!
Tampa Bay will fall out of the top 5 or 10 in my
They lose to
power
New
rankings.
England, they should fall out of the top 10.
Like, does anyone want to ask
If
the question?
they lose to New England, they should fall out of the NFL to the CFL.
Let's just ask the very simple 3-letter word question.
Why?
How?
That is 3 letters. It doesn't matter.
Hey, one play away.
How? Tom Brady has the quickest release of all quarterbacks in the NFL.
He can fall in
2.6
the shower tonight.
Well, yeah, Giselle could.
All
Giselle could beat him
24
up.
starters could fall in the shower tonight. I think they still win.
We
the
all
game.
know Tom Brady takes bows, all right?
The Tampa
Who's
Bay
the backup?
playing
Who's the
Mike
backup in
Rash.
Tampa Bay?
No, that's nice.
What's his name?
He's better than New England.
Yeah, I agree.
Gabbard.
How do they beat?
Blaine Gabbert
Throw
could
Byron,
beat New England.
Byron Leftwich at the helm over there. They'll
Yeah,
let
he's
him
he's younger than
He's
Brady.
younger than Brady. Yeah.
Tom Brady will throw for 200 yards in the first half.
Let's hope so. I got him on my fantasy team.
The question was, how do they beat Tampa Bay?
Yes.
The same way Tampa Bay beat Kansas City. They rush up the middle.
So Tampa Bay has the best rushing defense in football.
Rushing defense?
Yeah. For the last 2 years.
No.
Run defense.
We're talking
That's what I mean.
offense.
Run defense. Yeah.
It's the same.
Rushing
Oh,
defense,
we-
run defense.
okay.
Yeah. Pick your verb. Yeah. They have the
Their
best.
pass
in the NFL.
defense is like 22nd. But
But,
their run
okay,
defense,
so-
their run defense is
They don't run the
N'Keal
ball at all.
N'Keal Harry's back.
They don't run the ball at all, Tampa Bay. They throw the ball more.
No, the
Saying
defense.
their defense is better.
What I'm saying is New England's defense is going to rush Tampa Bay's offense. Are
Okay.
we talking the same thing? I'm
Okay.
confused.
No, that's great. Okay, and
Up the middle.
this is so.
Up the middle, like
Like
how
right
you
at the
beat-
gut.
Yep, all day.
Coaches have been saying that for 20 years against Tom Brady. It hasn't worked very much.
Oh,
It worked
man.
against the Eagles.
Listen to all the people wherever you live, wherever you're listening.
It worked against the Super Bowl winning team.
Oh my sweet loving Lord, just stop. Just stop.
Hey, we said
At halftime, Tampa Bay will be up by 17.
we talked about what would
You
be
gotta
the
have more
biggest
faith in your
upset.
team.
That would out
Does he?
I'm a realist.
Out of all that ever been talked
That's
about,
the biggest upset.
that would be the biggest upset.
absolutely.
How they're gonna do it? I don't freaking know. But that
Punt returns, kick returns.
yeah,
That-
interception.
I don't think the Tampa Bay punter is going to step on the field. I think he's going to have the easiest paycheck in the history of football next week. He's going to put his Crocs on.
Well,
sit on the
typically that's the
sidelines.
Kansas City Chiefs punter.
Well, this week it's going to be Tampa Bay. That guy's going to have his Crocs on. He won't even have his cup in. He's just going to sit and drink Gatorade. That's all he's going to do.
Nice. Well, maybe you should grab a 40 in a paper bag and chill out.
Wow.
Just saying.
That's the
If he's not going to play,
that's the San Jose in you right there.
that's right. Hitting right by the park. Alrighty, Tuck. It's time for the updates on the pick'ems.
The Pick'ems. Vigilant Sports Pick'ems after week 3. Well, it's nice to see that Edie came back down to earth.
It's because I picked the Texans, not
Yeah.
knowing Tyrod Taylor wasn't playing on a
I
Monday.
told you.
I messed up.
We got him off of his 14-2 high horse.
My arrogance.
So, all right. So last week, bringing up the rear, we got Josh and Edie both at 10-6, and then Art's starting to wake up.
Told you. Giving you guys a chance.
He and myself are both 12-4, and then the big guy of the week is Chris Larkin with 13-3.
So who won? Who won?
Well, it's just 1 week. 1 week.
Okay.
We'll see what happens this
The
week.
greatest of all time.
Tom Brady
we-
did not win.
No, Tom Brady
Brady.
did lose, yeah.
So the total after 3 weeks, the role of proctologist still belongs to Art Vigil. And then just above him is Josh Vigil at 28-20. And then we've got Chris Edie, 31-17. Chris Larkin in second place, 32-16. And of course myself is still up top and will remain there for quite a while at 33-15.
By a game, seriously?
Okay, someone besides Tuck has to keep these notes. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
if you're
not
listening and you think that's wrong, let us know.
Yeah, re-listen to the podcast for us and tell me what Tuck really thinks.
Wait, what's my record?
27-21.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's right. Because I was like 13 and 15.
You did
right?
go,
No
you
one
did go
questions you.
negative.
You're
on
losing.
No, you're not worried about you coming in
worried
last.
about
Yeah, I could have sworn I was in first.
At least it's only a 3-point lead, so it's still anyone's game.
Yeah. Keeping it close.
Okay.
Giving you guys a shot. All right. What about the
picks.
hot picks and the
Oh, yeah, the
And
hot
the
picks
Larkin
and
locks.
Larkin's locks. So, for all you listeners out there, hopefully
These locks.
you are still just taking this, as friendly advice, and you're not betting the
bet
farm.
against is
So,
what he's saying.
Art's hot picks this week, he was 1-2. He did pick Tennessee -5. Came away with a win there.
Bam.
And then Larkin's locks, he's on the plus side at 2-1. He
Yep.
picked the Seattle
Nice,
under.
nice.
You would have made money on that one.
Hey, the Seattle
no,
under is
not
the
the
most
Seattle.
absurd thing that's ever been on a microphone in the history of
You say
microphones.
absurd or absurd?
Absurd.
It begins with
Absurd?
an
No,
A.
it's not
No.
absurd. It's absurd.
Larkin's locks, he had
guys
the
are
New
both
Orleans over and the Rams over.
Yeah.
So he went 2-1.
Yep.
And then myself with my fantasy picks, with my system going against Trayvon Diggs, Jalen Reagor had 5 catches for 53 yards. But on the flip side there, Devontae Smith only had 3 catches for 28. So my other tip now this week, DJ Moore is going to go against Trayvon Diggs. So if you have DJ Moore out there, sit him. Pick up Robbie Anderson and play him.
So Trayvon Diggs, according to Tuck, Defensive Player of the Year
Absolutely.
after 3 weeks.
Well, he might be rookie of the year, right?
No, he's a second-year guy.
Second year.
He did get named NFC Defensive Player of the Month. So
So what's our overall record then for our picks?
you
I'm
are
I know I'm 1-6.
1-5. You're 1-5, and
I'm
Larkin
at 1-5.
is
I
and 3.
did 3 picks.
Yeah. So you have 6
You
total
have
picks.
5.
Never mind. Good math
I'm
skills.
500.
Good math
Larkin's
skills.
at 3-3.
1 out of 6.
Yeah.
At least I was 500.
Hey,
I'm up by 2 on you.
I like to slow play, and then by week 14,
It's not a sprint.
start.
It's a marathon.
It's a marathon, absolutely.
Because there's 17 weeks now.
Yes.
Oh boy.
1 game.
1-5 and 3. That's not terrible. But as a PSA for the listeners out
1-5's not
if
terrible.
the over is 115 on a Seahawks game, take the over because they will cover.
I mean, he did get it right technically, but
Thank you.
but
Thank you,
I
Josh.
still disagree with the idea.
And guess what? I'm going to take... ooh, a little tease right there. Never mind. For you listeners out there. Talk about the Seahawks and taking the over. Guess what? Maybe that's one of the Larkin locks.
All right. Speaking of Larkin locks, are you ready?
Does a bear poop wherever it wants to?
I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, to Peppa.
All right.
All right, let's start off with the Cards-Rams. Everyone knows that that's going to be a shootout. Over-under's 55. If you take the under, your name's Chris Edie.
That's not true.
Otherwise, you're just normal people and you take the over on 55 on that one. The next one, Panthers and the Cowboys, 50.5.
Dallas is going to cover that by themselves.
Oh, my Lord. Ride the under. Ride the under. Yep, you heard it here first, ladies and
Child,
gentlemen.
please.
Probably the only place, but you did hear it here first.
Yeah,
Wow.
All right. And then I will, just to appease Mr. Edie over here at the end of the table, we'll take the Niners and the Seahawks. 52.5. Under.
Believe it or not.
If we're taking the under on that game, the Niners probably win. So I'm okay with the under.
Okay, yeah, because you're a homer.
That's true.
Hey, Edie, if you actually believe that's not a good bet, you should bet them.
I mean, I was gonna
That
say.
may not be a bad. I mean,
Well, no, I was gonna do the Bucks and the Pats because it's only 49. But
That's a good one too.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
the Pats are going to put up
that's
like
definitely
14.
under.
Brady gonna throw up 35 himself,
Yeah, I mean, that's
and then
Mac Jones is going to throw 4.
no, and Nick Folk will kick 5 field goals. That puts you at 50. But those are Larkin locks. You got them written down,
I
Tuck?
got 'em.
You might not believe what you just
Hey.
wrote down, but you wrote them down.
Larkin, I gotta give you some credit. I kind of like that Dallas Carolina pick. No Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
I think Dallas is gonna win by a good margin, 31-17.
Yep.
That's still not 50 points.
Exactly.
So.
Math escapes a lot of the people at this table, ladies and gentlemen. Math is tough. They're all Bear River High School grads, so it's...
Well, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not either.
that's why you didn't say anything. You didn't disagree with me. The Bear River grads were like, that's impossible.
I agree with you.
How can they not score 55?
Yet another local high school reference. I love it.
All they're going to do is do a Google search on Bear River and know exactly where we are.
Alrighty, it's time for
Dun, 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 dun.
Art's Hot Picks of the Week. Alrighty. Number 1, Steelers at Packers.
Could he make it any easier?
Packers minus 6.5. Green Bay's on a two-game win streak. They're playing at home at the against the Steelers with Big Ben not doing so well. Did you see that pass the other day where he tripped?
Where he fell down?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then the other one where he was running and he threw back directly into the linebacker.
He needs a walker out there.
I think John Daly could come out and be
Well,
better
and they do
quarterback
have
than
they
John-
got some
golfer?
wide receivers for
probably.
Pittsburgh as well. Claypool is
Probably.
questionable. He may not play.
And no running game.
No running game.
Running game. I mean, not just a bad offensive line. Not a bad offensive line, but not
A young
a young
offensive line.
offensive line. Yeah.
With an old quarterback.
So as long as TJ Watt isn't playing, I think they'll cover that by a mile. All right, pick 2. Titans at the Jets. +7.
It's only +7.
Plus
That's-
you taking the
that's-
Jets?
Yeah.
You taking the Jets?
Whoa.
You taking the Jets?
No.
Oh, okay.
You said plus.
Because I was going to walk out of
No,
the
no, it's the Jets. Why would I take the Jets?
I mean, if there was any week, this would be the week with no Julio and no AJ Brown.
It's still not the week.
It's never the week, but I mean, if you had gone over your head, bet the Jets 1 week of 17 weeks, this could be the one.
Derek Henry
Not to cover 7. 17?
17.
Maybe. Put a 1 in front of that 7.
Did they score
cover 7.
0 last week?
Yeah.
That means they're due.
Right.
They're scoring double that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you don't bet with Crazy Eddie. Because they're due.
They're scoring double that this week. And by the way, 2 times 0 is 0. So.
Yeah, and that's how he spells due, with 2 zeros at the end of it. Due, D-O-O.
With Tannehill and Henry back, I don't think the Jets have a chance. All right, pick 3. Lions at Bears.
Good, he didn't go Tampa Bay, New England.
I thought about it.
Because that's another easy one.
Yeah. So Bears are -3. I'm picking the Lions.
Yes.
Boy.
I like that.
Yeah, I like
boy.
that pick.
They should have won last week, besides one of the greatest kicks, probably the greatest kick ever.
The greatest kick
66-yard field goal.
Well, with some
no time
controversy.
left
With
on
some
it.
controversy.
What controversy was
Well,
there?
there was supposed to be, there was some issues. The head coach, I can't remember his name off the top of my
Dan
head.
Campbell?
Yeah, he said that the time should have run out or something like that. He was,
The play clock was...
the play clock was
ran
messed
out.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Classic.
they give him a window.
Yeah.
So...
Oh,
I
they do?
think-
Lions are going to get their first win of the year. They should have won last week.
So
And-
not only will they cover the spread, they're winning outright.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you're taking Detroit on the money line.
Yep.
All right. I like that.
What is the money line on that? I'm wondering.
Money line bet. I would take the money line there too.
I would too.
Absolutely.
All right. Are we done? All right. So that's 3 picks. You got the Packers, the Titans, and the Lions. 3 for 3, boys.
The money
3
line is
for
only
3.
plus 125. That's all you're going to get for picking Detroit.
Better than +05.
It's still Detroit.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not that convinced.
Right. If you haven't been paying attention to sports,
Then why are you listening?
that's a good point. If you haven't been, paying attention to sports topics, then this is going to be new to you. There's a new book coming out from Seth Wickersham. It's Better to Be Feared. It's the new book that's looking at the relationships between Brady, Kraft, and the second best coach ever, Belichick.
You got him ranked behind Tom Landry?
No, Don Shula.
Oh,
So anyway, since we have Mr. Pat here, Mr. Larkin, I'm sure you've been listening to the Boston
Yes, I
radio.
have. Yeah.
What are your thoughts about
The idea of the whole
No,
thing.
no.
Here's my thought.
the more I hear about it?
This is bullshit.
It's obviously from one side.
It's BS. It's The book's been out apparently because it's number I think 677 on the New York bestseller list.
No.
He decided to bring.
It comes out October 12th.
He decided to talk about it the week that Tom Brady comes back to New England. So that's
called marketing.
That's attention grab. That's all it is.
That's called marketing.
It's attention grabbing.
Marketing.
And Seth Wickersham is a wannabe journalist. He's a piece of you know what.
No, whoa.
Tell us how you really feel.
No. I will tell you.
In 2018, he was right about Tom Brady leaving.
Everyone was right about that because he
was the first one in the media to put that out.
So Max Kellerman was right saying Tom Brady's going to fall off the cliff eventually 17 years later. Just because you say it happened 6 years later doesn't mean you're right.
No, he wrote about it. He had an article on YouTube.
So what part would you like to talk about? The fact that Robert Kraft said that Bill Belichick is the worst effing a-hole I've ever been around?
Sure.
You want to go with that one? Okay.
Well, I mean...
No, we know that one.
No.
What context was it?
Has Belichick not been known to be
difficult?
Difficult, a scoundrel.
Scoundrel?
Yeah. I mean, think about
cheater.
A cheater. I mean,
That's funny.
Well, we all know that.
Because they recorded the Bengals who are playing right now.
That was last year.
He recorded that. Yeah, he recorded their pregame because everybody wants to know the in-depth workings of the Cincinnati Bengals to make sure you can beat them.
Okay, let's go back to the book.
No, because you never know. They might pull out a razzmatazz or something silly like that.
Besides Chris, does everybody think Belichick is a good person or a good guy?
Does it matter?
I think it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters.
But I
do you think Bobby Knight? Do you think Bob Knight was a good guy?
Yeah, but that's why he got kicked out.
He was a great college basketball coach. Was he a nice guy?
He's probably top.
Was Lou Holtz a nice guy? Apparently no, because he choked out a 300-pound lineman and got fired. So that makes him a bad guy. Bill Belichick, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If he treats people
It's broke though. It's
why?
broken.
No, now it is because
the
Brady's
one
gone.
gear he needed, like the gear he needed, is gone. So now it's like he's just an asshole with a bad team.
After week 3, you think that?
After last year, we had last year too.
Well, because he had Cam Newton.
Yeah, but now he's got a rookie.
I'll tell you right now, my 11-year-old nephew can throw further than Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a joke.
But Mac Jones isn't throwing any.
He throws further than Matt Jones.
Mac Jones is not. Yeah, Mac Jones is not throwing.
Air throws for Matt Jones.
No, you're 100% wrong. You guys are 100% wrong in your analysis.
I'll be saying 90%. I'm 90% wrong.
Look at Tom Brady in 2001 when Tom Brady took over. How many passes over 20 yards did he have?
Probably not very many.
You can count them on probably 2 hands.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is doing the same. And you make fun of it because you think it's Bill Belichick.
Because you were saying that Cam was doing it. But
well, that's because he physically can't.
Doing it.
He physically can't.
Well, he had no talent last year. Not that
all the kids were throwing under 20 yards.
Well, that's why Brady left.
Back to the book about Belichick being a curmudgeon and a jerk and blah blah blah. He wouldn't meet Tom Brady when he said goodbye.
I believe
that's another thing. Where was Belichick? It was off season. He might have been on his yacht somewhere and said, "Listen, I'd love to be there, but I'm in the Caribbean right now. I can't get there to talk to you."
Make time. Any other head coach, not any other, 90% of head coaches in the league would make time for that guy.
Because you know why? Because most head coaches cater to their stars.
You think when Joe Montana left San Francisco, Bill Walsh was like, "Yeah, screw him. I don't care."
Seifert.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Well, it was Seifert at the time.
Okay, yeah. If you're gonna argue, get your numbers right.
No coaches. I'd say if a guy that literally made your career what it is for the most part, because I'm not saying Belichick was useless. I'm saying that as far as Brady and Belichick together, separate, there's an obvious what's going on. So Belichick should show the respect.
How is it different?
Who won the Super Bowl last year, and who won 5 games last year? 7-9
with Cam Newton.
Yeah, the talent level between Tampa Bay
and N'Keal Harry was your number 1 receiver.
Who won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, Tom Brady. Because he's the greatest of all time.
I just think Bill could show more respect to certain players than he does.
So, that's actually a good point. And the reason why I say that is Belichick was with the Giants when Lawrence Taylor was there. Mm-hmm. And Lawrence Taylor, with Bill Parcells, could do whatever the hell he wanted because he was the star.
And Bill Belichick to this day will say that's the best coach. Well, he might change his mind now with Brady, but I think he will still say that LT is the best coach, best player he's ever coached.
I've heard him say that.
And I can't argue that because LT was a game changer.
But Bill Parcells used to let LT do whatever he wanted. Mm-hmm. He could be partying all night, and there's books. I'm not making this stuff, and he did show up drunk and then be like the best player.
Yeah.
So
did Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played 18 holes, get hammered, take a quick power nap, and then go put up 53 against Cleveland or something like that same night. Talent is talent. We're talking about Bill Belichick. Is he a jerk? Is Bill Belichick a jerk?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, he absolutely is. He has no apologies for it.
He dropped.
He doesn't need to apologize for it.
Malcolm, what's his name?
Butler, who went to Tennessee and is no longer playing in football.
For the Super Bowl, though, because he got in a
Doesn't
fight
matter.
with Patricia, Mr. Pencil Guy.
Where'd you get that?
Pencil Guy?
No, where'd you
That's
get
part of
that?
That's part of the one.
I haven't read the book yet.
No, the book doesn't come out.
Okay, so I don't know how you know that.
It's an
An excerpt from you? Okay.
It's a quote
I didn't hear that one yet.
Yeah.
I got one comment only.
Find that hard to
If the rift was that bad, where it's all these stories and it's that, Tom Brady probably would have left a little earlier. He played 20 years of his career. Most quarterbacks don't play for 20 years. Kickers play for 20 years. Yeah. If it was that bad, Tom would...
No, this is late.
Well, no, there's also...
It was over the last 4 or 5 years.
There's also an excerpt from the book where Bill Belichick did an independent third-party research of some of the best athletes in the world. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
And what drives them. A lot of the players was the will to win and wanted to be the best.
The chip on the shoulder.
Yeah. Tom Brady was just to be appreciated. That's all he wanted, was to be appreciated.
And he wasn't.
And he wasn't with Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick doesn't care who you are. You're a cog in the wheel. I don't care who you are. You could be Jesus Christ. Bill Belichick will use you to the best of his ability to make everything work.
I hear his abilities are pretty cool.
Jesus is pretty good.
I think I read a book about it. Yeah.
Well, I've read it a couple times.
However, if that's true, he would have a winning record without Tom Brady as his quarterback, and he does not in Cleveland. And
he wasn't a head coach in Cleveland.
Yes, he was
for 1 year. I think it was maybe three. Maybe
3 years.
3 years.
Absolutely.
And it's the Cleveland Browns. Did he have any Testaverde back then?
He did. Yes,
Okay.
he actually cut him halfway through the year
Because he sucked.
Well, he was older at the third year that he was there.
Okay, yeah.
All I'm saying is Tom Brady has made Bill Belichick. Without Tom Brady, he would. All right.
Let's say you're right. Brady made Belichick. Okay. All right.
I say he's right.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I'm not saying
does that make Belichick an asshole?
No, he makes himself an asshole.
Why?
Because he's
How many players has he cut?
Has any player ever been like...
And how many players has he cut that have gone on to do good things? Other than Brady. Name
Richard
one.
Seymour had a couple good years at the Raiders.
2. Because he was 36. No, he was 34 or something like that. He was old.
Hence the word couple.
Yeah. He was at the end of his career. And Richard Seymour, if I'm not mistaken, wanted a max contract.
What was
we weren't going to sign him to a max contract.
The guy who played for the Dolphins that we traded went to Denver.
If you can't think of his name, Wes Welker had more concussions than...
He went on to be an absolute stud in Denver.
Well, he was already a stud.
Not for very long.
Not for long. He played a year and a half and was gone.
And he was there 3 years.
Danny Amendola, nothing. David Gibbons was almost a Super Bowl MVP.
He was.
And did nothing when he left. Corey Dillon, we picked him up at the end. Like, Belichick uses the things that he needs at the right time. Right. He's a mechanic. He brings the right parts. I have 6 total cars. I'm going to bet the best parts and put it together and make a hot rod.
As long as Tom Brady's there, I agree.
Yeah, but the motor of the car left.
Is Tom Brady.
Like,
I'm not arguing that fact. Yeah. I'm arguing the fact that everyone thinks he's a dick.
Well, everyone knows he's a dick. It's not like it's a debatable.
So why are we arguing this fact? I mean, yeah, Seth Wickersham, who's a... God... I dislike the timing. I dislike everything about it.
The timing's perfect for marketing.
Exactly. That's a typical freaking
anyone that wants
guy.
to make money, though. I mean, that's the play. You don't release it when it doesn't matter. You know, it's like.
Well, if you stand by your book, you release it at the right time. You don't do it when Brady's coming back.
I think this is the right time. I think this is the right time to do it from a marketing standpoint.
I look forward to listening to it.
I'll wait until the NFL's on strike.
I got an article this morning.
Wait 15 years till Tom retires.
Well, why don't you wait till the end? Like. I don't know. Seth Wickersham's a D-bag, and that's all I got to say about it. Is Bill Belichick a jerk? Absolutely. Because he doesn't cater to his players. He doesn't let them talk however they want in the media. He doesn't let them, wear their gold chains and do their stupid celebrations. He says, get off the field, win the game, act like you've done it before, is how he treats his players.
Yes.
Does that make him a bad guy? I'm kind of sure it makes him almost the winningest coach of all time.
Almost. Who's the winningest coach again? Don Shula.
Yep. And if...
Don Shula did it with more than one quarterback, so...
Yes, he did.
Well, that's normal because normal quarterbacks don't play 20 years.
They might start now because of nutrition and all the other stuff. But
And
back
because of the TB12 method?
absolutely.
Okay.
I use the TB12 method. I may do it just on for my life.
Dude, you got your second,
Just wake
you
up
got your
every
second
day.
COVID booster. You
I
can
know.
use the
I
TB12
may need
method
to
right
do
now.
the TB12 method.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow Vigilant Sports with Art Vigil on your favorite podcast platform. And tell all your friends about the podcast. Until next time, stay vigilant.
All I see is money,